Happy Saturday, Shabbat Shalom. Y'all, what's it like watching a breakthrough in real time? I've been making so many videos lately because the Lord's just like, it's constant revelation. Almost 24/7 about the years of my life, decades of my life. It is so wild when you go through this experience. Like I've had little breakthroughs before, but nothing on this level, nothing where like the epiphanies just keep rolling in. So, so, and the change, it's like a progressional, it's like so much at one time. It's taking time to like fully, it's probably going to take months, maybe years to even understand all this, but I'm so excited because especially after you go through a whole dead season where you just feel dead inside, dead, like nothing's happening. And, excuse me, you just feel like when the revelation starts coming back, you're like, I'm alive. Anyway, so yeah, I think this week has been crazy because um sick too on top of recovering from surgery. So it was just overwhelming me, right? Plus all the emotional stuff I had just been through, the grief and the closure and all the stuff, all the tears, and it is just, I feel like I've been unraveled like to my core, to my core. And, you know, uh, along with that, God shows you so much of your whole life. Like it all starts making sense. Everything just starts clicking into place. Like why you had to go through certain things, what was actually wrong that you couldn't see the whole time until it was just time to for it to happen, for it to change. And then you're like, oh, I get it now, and I think, a lot of these journeys that I've been on have been a complete death to self, a complete dying to my ego, my pride, my will. And like I remember when I went to California, I had to walk and as a homeless person with my luggage and my cat and sleep outside. It was so humbling. But back then I had so much ego that it was humiliating. It was humiliating. Now I don't care. God's gotten me beyond that. I just like sometimes take a shower outside my car door and people are driving by looking at me like I'm crazy, and it doesn't faze me. It doesn't bother me, right? Because I've died to all those things, right? And so the death to self, the death to our ego, the death to our flesh takes a long time and in stages, because some things are just too much for us at one time, and so but he was just showing me, like, how, oh, just going through this whole thing of like opening my heart again and just sharing my true feelings that I kept locked up for so long, and how soft I felt afterwards, how like I felt human again. I felt like I had a fleshly heart once more, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And I felt so much love and but I felt so much emotion too, because what I had been doing for years and years and years, a decade at least, is pretending like I'm strong. I don't have to, I have to be so strong all the time and hold it together and no emotion and no, like, I can't feel sorry about the past. I can't feel sorry. I can't regret. I can't feel anything. And so I just got to this place where I couldn't feel anything, even if I wanted to. I could barely cry, And for me to cry for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks straight, I feel like I'm like, am I losing my mind? But no, I feel more alive than I felt in years. I feel like me again. I feel soft again. I feel human again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever experienced. Is it crazy making to me? Yes, because I don't like those things. And I feel like a whiny baby. I never know when it's gonna hit me either. It's just gonna like, woo! All of a sudden, I'm like overwhelmed with emotion, and that's okay though, because like what I realized was that, especially for women, okay, because women, we need to be feminine and walk in our what they call feminine energy. God created them male and female, and they both have different aspects to their character, to their, and so we, some say feminine energy, and that's a true thing, like to embrace your femininity and your role as a woman. And when you have to be self-sufficient all the time and hold it together all the time and be strong for yourself all the time, and you have no one to lean on and you refuse to lean on anyone because you don't want to get hurt, you have to walk in masculine energy all the time. And it is not, it's not okay for a woman to do that for, extended periods of times. And I think that's one of the major things now looking back, though, the Lord has been showing me over the years, like that I had to do this. I had to maintain this like level of closed offness. And when I started unraveling and started crying and started pouring out my heart and started feeling soft again, I remembered all of a sudden who I was. I remember that girl that died a long time ago. I remember like how I used to just be so happy all the time, and like because that was me. I wasn't hiding anything. I wasn't trying to be strong. I wasn't trying to be independent. I wasn't trying to be self-sufficient. And I could just be me all the time, and that feels good to like express yourself and express your emotions and feel things. Women especially need to do that. And so it's just like, and you'll see like when a man walks in his feminine energy, it just feels not right. It's like there's something wrong about that, you know what I mean? Not saying men can't cry and be sensitive and soft, like, because they definitely can, and it's beautiful when they are a healed masculine person and they can embrace who they are. I'm saying a man who walks in like this wounded feminine energy of like, you you know what I mean. Anyway, it's it's terrible to look at, and it's just like boss babe. Our society has made women feel like they have to be boss babe and be the boss and wear power suits and control men and all this stuff, and like I know I had to walk in that. But society forces that upon us out of necessity, because I mean honestly, where are all the masculine men at these days? Where did they go? They're all wearing dresses now, so women have to take up the role of breadwinner and leader of the household, and it sucks that society has forced that on us. And so looking back, and like now that I feel like me again, and I went to my doctor too, and yes, or I got my test results back yesterday, and like all my hormones were normal again, and like oh, like you know what I mean, like it was just like God was just saying everything's good now, everything's back regulated in my body again. Like I mean, just to feel in touch with your own body and like not feeling closed, disconnected from your own soul is what it feels like. Your own feeling, your own feelings and stuff. It feels so good. I feel like I'm me again. And I think that that's what God was doing. He was just like killing that part of me that had to be strong all the time, and that's why I just want to curl up in a little ball and be a baby right now. And like I'm probably being over dramatic, but it just feels nice to feel like that for the first time, and I can't remember literally when, you know what I mean? And so anyway, but I think society itself has pushed women into the workforce and into this role where 100 years ago that was not even a thing. That was not even heard of. Women stayed at home and raised their children, and it was beautiful, and it was accepted, and it was encouraged, and there was nothing wrong with it. There was no shame in it. It wasn't until the 50s where all of a sudden there's a shame in raising your own children. And so women have been forced into this thing where in this sexual liberation where if I have sex with a million people, that means I'm empowered. No, it means you're a hoe. And it's like we have twisted the light for dark and the truth for lies, and it is destroying people at their core. And now I understand that, even just going through a heartbreak, and I closed myself off trying to be just trying to heal myself, right? And for the time being, for the duration of that time, I needed to for my own survival, because I had gotten to the place of so many broken hearts on top of one another. Um, if I didn't withdraw myself and heal go into like protective mode, I was gonna die. And so it's taken a long time for me to be able to get to this place. And so that's why some healings, and that's why I hate the prosperity gospel so much, because they make it seem like, oh, if you're not healed, it's your fault, and like you just need to believe Jesus more or pray more. And it's like, no, but some inner work that God does in our lives takes a long time, because our spirits, our souls are so fractured from the pain we've endured, and the pain we put ourselves through, and the trauma that we've done. And like I mean, I can sit here and think about all the crazy things I've done to myself, just let alone just me to myself, and how long it takes to put a soul back together. It takes a long time to do it so that nothing else gets more broken and nothing else gets more injured. And so it's a delicate, God's like a surgeon when he puts us back together. He's delicate with us. And he knows what we need when we need it, and he knows how much our soul can endure at the time, and how much truth we can handle, and what we're ready to see and what we will never be ready to see, probably. Maybe when we're dead, because we tell ourselves, and that was another thing I was thinking. I was like, the lies we tell ourselves, the lies I've told myself over the years, just to endure the pain, is like, you know, I don't need a man. I don't need anyone. I can just do this all by myself. And I mean, that was my number one lie. I told myself, just because I didn't ever want to feel that vulnerable again. I didn't ever want to feel broken. I didn't want anybody to hurt me again. And so, so the lies we tell ourselves, it's like, most of us we are number one liars, and like, to ourselves, and coming to face the reality of, like, no, I definitely need people in my life. you know I definitely need to be soft. I definitely need to be feminine. I definitely, and this is the other thing. I was at Pastor Phil's house 2 years ago in California, and he knew this about me when I couldn't even see it. I couldn't even see it then. I wasn't ready. And he literally, he, he's such a misogynist. Like, not really, but like, as a joke, he does it as a joke, because he knows it gets on my nerves. And he would make me go get him his coffee. I don't have pink eye, buddy. I just had eye surgery. It's healing, so it's just red. Anyway, but anyway, he would make me go get him his coffee, and if his coffee got too cold, he would make me go warm it up for him, and like, he would just he got me an apron to wear, like, he would just make me wait on him, but like, he knew it made me so mad, but he knew that was what I needed. I needed to serve, and I needed to serve a man. I needed to feel feminine again, and at the time it irked me, but by the time I left, all I had to do was look at him, and I knew it was time for a coffee. You know what I mean? And I loved doing it after I'd been there for a while. But the first few months, I was like, this joker, you know. And so, but he knew that. He could see that in me. He could see that I was dying to be a girl. Like, I was needing to be a woman, and like, I just wouldn't. I was so masculine. And it's so crazy how God, like, puts the people in our lives that, like, it's just know how to handle us, and know how to teach us in a loving way, and not shame us for not having it all together. Oh, you just need to pray more. You just need more blood of Jesus. It's like, baby, I got all the blood of Jesus I can handle right now. You know what I mean? That's how I know I haven't died in this process, is I know he's with me. And so, anyway, I just want to say, like, it's okay to be you, and I think a lot of times we try to fit society's, like, image of what's cool, what's popular, what's accepted, and God designed us specifically for a reason, in a certain way. Women to be women, men to be men, and to have a specific role to play. And I think that he designed us that way because it's the most natural thing on earth, to feel like, for a woman to feel like a woman, and to embrace her femininity, and embrace her emotions, and be a feeler. That's why our intuition is so powerful as women. And I think it's good for a man to be a provider and a protector, and a nurturer. I think it's good for a man to be a man, right? And like, I literally just spit because of her, right? Because of her, we go into ourselves and we think, I can do it all. I can be all things to myself, and I cannot. And anyway, I just want to share that with you today, because I feel like God was the journey, this internal journey. A huge part of it was dying to the ego, dying to that false self that tells you have to be something else other than what God literally created you to be, and like, truly embracing who I am, right? Like, who I am as a woman, and feeling like a woman, and being okay to feel like a woman. Because I remember in my 20s, I always felt like a woman. Always. I loved it. It was like the happiest I ever was, because I was just me. I didn't have the hurt to hide my heart away, behind. And so anyway, I just want to encourage you to be yourself, and to be who God created you to be, and embrace the characteristics that he designed you with. And so with that, I love you guys. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Happy Shabbat. Spend some time with the Lord. That's what I'm going to go do. Take some New York photography. Anyway, I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.